Hey, welcome once again, Sec Plus Preppers. These are the IT Dojo Security Plus questions of the day. I'm Colin Weaver. 2 questions every day. I give them to you. Here comes the first one. From a terminal, you type OpenSSL, MD5, space, message1.bin, message2.bin, and you get that output. My question to you is, what does that mean? Go ahead and read the answer choices. Click pause. When you're ready, click play. We'll break it down. All right, let's look at the choices. Choice number 1 says that the messages were hashed using the same private key. No, we don't hash messages with private keys, so that can't be right. Choice number 2 says that the messages or the files are identical. No. In fact, it says in the question that they are different files. So that's not it. This is message1.bin and message2.bin. This is not a case where the 2 files are just the same file with a different file name. So these are actually 2 distinctly different files. So no, they're not identical files. Option number 3 says that the hash output is 160 bits in length. That is inaccurate. This particular algorithm that was used was MD5. MD5 produces 128-bit hashes. And if you were to count up all those characters in those hash outputs that you see, you'll find that there are 32 characters, each of which is a hexadecimal value, which represents 4 bits. 32 times 8 is 128. 128 bits. Next item on the list says that the messages have not been modified in transit. There's no way to know anything about any of that from what we see here. So no, that can't be the right answer. And then the last choice is to say that this is a hashing collision, and this is absolutely true. What we have here is a situation where 2 files, in this case 2 binary images, have hashed to the same value. When that occurs, we call that a collision. And it's generally regarded as bad, particularly if the 2 files can be passed off as one another. All right, let's keep it moving. Which of the following, here's question number 2, which of the following can be said of a 0-day exploit? Here's a bunch of answer choices. Click pause. When you're ready, click play. Give it a read. All right, first answer choice on the list says you got some nefarious code in the wild before the vendor has a chance to patch the vulnerability. This is pretty much textbook definition of what a 0-day is. You've got somebody who's discovered a vulnerability. There's actually been code written to exploit it, and now it's out there exploiting, and the vendor has not released a patch, which means we're all vulnerable. So yeah, that's a 0-day through and through. Choice number 2 on the list says that they always provide the ability to remotely execute code. No. In fact, there's a couple things about this. 1, 0 days aren't always remote code execution vulnerabilities or that you can go in and take advantage of. 2, the answer choice has the word always in it, and whenever you're taking exams, you should be very careful of things like never and always and stuff like that. Those are oftentimes very drastic statements, and so whenever you see those kinds of words in a test question or in an answer choice, you should be critical of it. Third option on the list says that they extract cookies from an infected system. This is not true. That's kind of more of a definition of session hijacking than anything else. Definitely not something that is specifically a 0-day exploit. Remember, we're looking for the best answer that matches, not the only answer that matches. And the last choice on the list is to say that unsafe commands are executed on the system because of improper input checking. And that is also not true in this scenario. Now, again, we were looking for the best answer. Even though some of these probably could be, jammed into the box, that particular one right there is more of an input validation kind of a concern with command injection. So not really the best answer that we're looking for here. The best answer was the one that really kind of served as the definition of what a 0-day exploit is. And so this is one of those things that you're going to have to be careful of when you go take the exam, is that sometimes more than one of the answers appears to be correct. But if you go back and you look at the question more carefully, you'll see that it says, which of them is the best choice kind of a deal. And so you need to kind of go back and look at those answer choices with that whole little best caveat right next to it. So keep that in mind. All right, there you have it. 2 more questions down. First question today was on being able to recognize what a collision looks like when you encounter it with the hashing algorithm. And the second question went in and focused on really kind of what's the definition of a 0-day exploit. Hope you dug these questions. Hope you found them useful. If you did, click like. If you want to get them every day, make sure you subscribe. And I'll be back doing this again tomorrow.